We are live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Blake Ruffino. This is Are You Serious Sports. We hope that you guys are making it a good one. We know that we are as well. Huge game. Huge win. You can laugh about it all you want to. You can say, nah, boo-boo, all this bullshit. But LSU blanks New Mexico 38-0. Guys, I have nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, to say ill about the defense here tonight. Nothing. Absolutely freaking nothing. I'm going to pull this up. I mean, looking at this, Pooh, can we go to the box score just very quickly? Oh, that is the box score. The team stats, I'm sorry. But I want to make sure. I think it's only 84 yards that LSU gave up. Guys, LSU gave up 88 total yards defensively. 88 total yards defensively. Matt House, as Al Landry says right here, Matt House D is strong, pause. But you cannot say one ill will thing about this LSU defense here tonight. 1 of 10 on third down, 0 for 0 on fourth down. You got off of it. Second half, Shea Dixon tweeted this. But in the second half, LSU's defense did not give up a first down, nor did they give up more than 5 yards. Guys, in the second half, this defense did not give up 5 yards of total offense. You got to give it to them, man. This defense is getting so much better. So as we go through tonight, everybody, do us a favor, please. All of you right now, hit the like and share. Do your brother a solid. Hit to those Facebook groups. If you're on YouTube, share to Twitter, share to Facebook, all of that good stuff. Please do us the favor and by hitting the like and share and sharing to all of those groups. Score alert, Pooh Bear is going to keep us involved in this. Texas A&M still leaves Arkansas 23-21 with 1:27 in the fourth quarter, and TAMU still has the football. Thank you, Pooh. Just keep me in the loop there. Austin Navarre says ESPN Plus is cheeks, but go Tigers anyways. Yeah, what is a Nussmeier? I felt so cringed. I don't want to hear the word noose anywhere. I mean, like, guy, with all due respect, you've been here since fucking Thursday. Get the kid's name right. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, but Jesus Christ. Jesus H. Christ. That was so bad. Marvin Mackey Jr. says Armani Goodwin is RB1. Well, shit. I mean, let's hope he's not injured. Let's hope he's not injured. Let me say this. You guys know this. I'm always going to enjoy a win. Guys, to win football games, to be an 8-4, 9-3 football team, to get to a bowl game and win your 10th game in this season, listen, we're going to preach on it this week. You're going to get pissed off at me, and I get it. And I told you this last week. You cannot start off that fucking slow offensively. Guys, the one where Damian Ramos missed the field goal, and you got a touchdown by Cole Taylor, they call a pick play, then you have a holding. I mean, guys, I can't tell you how just absolutely bad that pisses me off. Neighbors goes 15 yards for a first down. Besh has a screen. Jane Daniels gets sacked. Then he has to scramble for a first down. Then you have to put Nussmeier in. That's the same. The drive after that. Then the drive before that, you start making things happen. You miss one block. Charles Turner misses a block. Josh Williams should still be fucking running. You can't have that happen. Then you hit Josh Williams in the flat for 20 yards, and then everything falls off the wheels. So everybody's in here bitching and moaning and complaining all fucking week about how, Blake, Jane Daniels doesn't need to run. Well, you see what happens when he doesn't use his athleticism? Let the kid fucking play. Let the kid play. Cole Taylor, take him out of the game. The next time Cole Taylor has a holding in the red zone, so help me Christ, go Herman Boone on his ass and say, pick up the damn football before I break my foot off in your John Brown hind parts. That is the third time this season he's had a holding call in the red zone. You guys, you cannot. You can get mad at me all you want to, and justifiably so. I understand it, and I get it. But you cannot get in the red zone and not get points. That gets you beat in the SEC. It gets you beat in the SEC. Now, Auburn looks like absolute dookie. So maybe you can slide through next week. But Tennessee has a bye game next week. Tennessee's off. They don't have to play a game. So, yeah, we're going to be so excited. Auburn fucking, their ass. Whatever. That is guys, not coming out in the first half that flat is going to get you beat because you're going to play catch up like you were at Florida State, and then you're not going to be able to catch up with the team that you're trying to play against. Because the truth is, when you play Tennessee in 2 weeks, good luck playing catch up with that offense. Good luck. Not saying they can't. Not saying they can't, because they can. But my God. King Ulysses. So look, that is the biggest thing for me. That is the thing that pisses me off the most. Okay, that pisses me off the most. You cannot get fucking penalties in the red zone. Can't fucking happen. King Ulysses says shutouts and no points, under 80 yards allowed. Look, there's nothing. It was 88, wasn't it, Pooh? It was 88 yards. Guys, defensively, what else do you want me to say? I mean, Harold Perkins is all over the place. He is as advertised. He's either making the play or doing something to generate for somebody else to make the play. You cannot take Harold Perkins off the field. And I know a lot of people are talking about freshman All-American, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. But the bottom line is you cannot take that young man off the field. Wow. Final in Dallas. Texas A&M beats Arkansas 23-21. Wow. Anthony Hall says, what were you watching? Tennessee is good. I don't know if you're talking to me, Anthony, or not, but I did not. Obviously, I just said that they were good. Eric Johnson says, stop cursing, then leave. Marvin Mackey says, Cole Taylor is A-word. Yeah. Charlie Barnett says, Arkansas just lost. Yeah, I just saw that. Derek Fontenot says, Noah Kane and Jack Besh need more touches. Well, I'm going to have to wait for Pooh Bear to come back. We'll go through this box score as soon as Pooh Bear gets back to see how many touches Jack Besh got. But let's see. Pooh Bear's back with us. Pooh, can we go to the player stats? How many touches did Jack Besh get tonight? 6 catches, 43 yards. See, this isn't up to date because Chris Hilton had a catch in the second half on that last Garrett Nussmeier drive. So these stats aren't up to date. They must have given that catch to somebody else because Chris Hilton had more than one catch. You got to get hats off to Brian Thomas Jr. on that long catch and run. You got if there is anybody you got to get more involved, guys, I think it's him. I think it's him. But you had 33 completions, 414 yards, and a TD. I want to see those TD numbers go up. I mean, but look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Another game, guys, with 10 people 10 people that have catches. Now, I thought Jack looked good, and as Father Abear says, I love best returning putts. It takes 5 people to tackle him. It does feel as if it takes at least 2 people to bring down Besh. But look, here's what LSU's identity is, if you're ready for it. And you may like it, you may not like it. LSU has been coming out flat outside of Southern. That had to do with some special teams and some turnovers. But guys, listen, LSU just wants to wear teams down. The 3 of the 4 games, they did it to Florida State. LSU was fresher than Florida State in the second half. They were fresher than Florida State in the second half, and obviously New Mexico. They want to lean on you. And guys, I hate to say it this way, but we're just going to have to be okay with LSU leaning on people and breaking out a little bit late. You can call it less miles-ish, but really and truthfully, if you really want to break down Bama in late games, that's how they do a lot of that too. I saw a stat about 2 weeks ago that says Alabama second half stats over the last 5 years have scored more points in the second half than they've scored in any year in the first half under Saban. And if you remember that 19 season, the way that they came back against LSU in 19, that's what good teams do, man. They make adjustments at halftime. They come back out. They might keep it close in the first half. But, yeah, we'll see. Austin Navarre asked, why is B.J. Ojulari out? I must have missed something. I think it's precautionary. You remember the Florida State when he was grabbing his knee. I think it's more precautionary. What you don't need is for him to play even if he's a little nicked up. But look, let's talk about some of those changes. Obviously, Jack Besh returned punts tonight. Look, defensively, Jay Ward didn't play. They moved Jared Bernard-Converse back at safety. And I got to give a tip of my cap to Greg Brooks. Man, Greg Brooks has been all over the place. So, it's something that I kind of want to monitor in recruiting as well. And Pooh Bear, beat this into my head, will you? If LSU takes a 3-star athlete from Louisiana that nobody thinks that can play, they've already taken one that's taken a lot of beatings from recruiting services. Guys, Greg Brooks has shown you that he's a player. If a kid's an athlete, recruiting, because the truth is, if he's that fast, he can tackle in the open field, and he can cover, you can find somewhere for someone like him to play. C. King says, I don't like the fact that our wide receivers are not getting open downfield enough. Well, they showed 2 of those things when Jaden was sitting in the pocket. It was the big thing all week, right? Jaden's got to sit in the pocket. The 2 times he sat in the pocket, on the rewind, on the all 22 copy that ESPN Plus showed, guys, there's no receiver open. There's no receiver open until Jaden's got to get outside the pocket and start making something happen. So you can't blame him on that, and that's what they talked about. Ryan Gidger says, you're right, Blake. Every play you see number 40 around the football. Harold Perkins can't come off the field, man. And what's crazy is, guys, let me ask y'all this question. What defense do you think that they ran tonight? Put it in the chat. What defense do you think that they ran tonight? This would be a great question, because you can't say that they ran a 3-4 because they didn't. They put Harold Perkins in the slot. Guys, he was in the slot for a big nickel package and went into coverage a lot of times. It was more or less just a big nickel. And you got to give them credit for being innovative. Guys, this is the 4th straight week. The 4th straight week that Matt House has mixed things up and you don't know what he's going to throw at you. I mean, for crying out loud, that is what a defensive coordinator does. And I'm still blown away by the communication that LSU has. Now, look, I don't know how much you need that next week, right? Like I don't know how much you need of that next week with going to Auburn, but I will tell you this. I will tell you this. I excuse me. I don't like, I want to see what this team looks like on the road. This will be their next Saturday will be the first time that they've been outside of the state of Louisiana all year. And so for that reason alone, let's see what they do against Auburn. Auburn's not a good team. Auburn is not a good team. Chris Brownlee says Brian Thomas Jr. is the best receiver on the team. Well, Kayshawn's still out on the team. Kayshawn's still on the team. Let's see what Kayshawn can do when he comes back. But let me say this about Kayshawn. Things start making sense when you hear things, right? Kayshawn Booty having a kid, right? And you're wondering why he wants NIL money? Interesting, isn't it? Tasha Thibodeau, who runs the Real LSU Nation football group, or LSU the Real LSU Nation. It's not just a football group; it's an all LSU group. She said Jane got to get first downs however he can get them. Absolutely, Tasha, and she's so right with that. I don't give two Rudy Poos how you get first downs. I don't care if you run it. I don't care if you throw it. She's so right there. Talking about some things that we saw that were a little bit different. Seven Banks, who we thought the transfer from Ohio State. Guys, I mean, look, he gave up a catch, but he was all over the wide receiver. Not much more you can ask on that. I mean, you could just tell he's a natural corner. I wonder what happens with Colby Richardson being a little banged up. And I've been told that, it's just Colby Richardson's just banged up, man. And he played tonight. So I fully expect Seven Banks to either get the start next week or just see a lot of playing time. Remington Pierce says it's so refreshing to see adjustments instead of doing the same shit over and over again. I agree. I 1,000% agree with you. And look, I wrote this down on the third defensive drive. Guys, they gave on three different plays. It was a 3-and-out. They gave three different looks on the front. Linebackers were lined up in different, I say formation, but a different gap. And it's pretty based much on the wide side of the field. What's crazy is LSU gave up the biggest play of the day for New Mexico was that fake option wheel route down the sidelines. Guys, on the second play of the second half, New Mexico would come out and they would run it again, and Greg Brooks was there to defend it. So they made adjustments. But I don't have a lot to say. Really, the only bad thing that LSU did today, it wasn't the running game. They ran all over, and they were physical up front. You got to stay with this offensive line. Emory Jones is still a beast. Excuse me. Bottom line is you got to stay with this offensive line, man. You got to stay with this offensive line. They did a lot of great things offensively. Now I'm going to bring this back up. Pooh Bear, can you scroll up just a little bit? Let's go look at the rushing stats here. But Noah Cain, 11 rushes, 94 yards. John Emery, 9 carries, 45 yards. And look, the thing about this with John Emery, I mean, he's got 5 yards per carry. He doesn't have a touchdown. Noah Cain has 2. Amari Goodwin, 8 rushes, 24 yards. He has 2. The problem here, though, man, is that, I get that Noah Cain had a 49-yard rush, but, guys, I mean, they're doing this every week where a guy busts a long one. So I'm kind of okay with, these stats being somewhat relatively good. Josh Williams, I mean, his stat – see, this is where stat line will confuse people. If you would have told me right now that Josh Williams only had 4 carries for 19 yards, I would have never believed you. Here's the biggest difference. Okay. And I want to make this very well known. 9 carries for Jane Daniels, 37 yards. How much worse did your defense look, our offense look in the first half? Guys, if that's his game, that's his game. And I know that we're not used to seeing a quarterback run around here like that. Get used to it. Get used to it. Either get over it and move on and support. Yes, does he have to hit passes down the field? Sure. There were multiple times tonight that Jaden missed on wide open opportunities. There are also times he sat in the pocket and guys were being locked down because they're dropping 8 dudes into coverage. What would you have him do then? Well, Blake, if there's 8 guys in coverage, let him tuck it and run it. Well, you fucking bashed him a week ago for doing the same thing. You literally bashed him a week ago. Kansas, and by the way, Pooh Bear says Kansas now has a mobile QB and they're 4-0. By the way, shout out to Kansas for winning me some money today. But I don't give 2 Rudy Poos. I don't give 2 Rudy Poos how you get yards and first downs and touchdowns. Could care less. I don't give a shit if you get pantsed and you run into the end zone. Could care less. I don't care if he's got dimples and pimples on that son of a bitch while he's running into the end zone. No pause. If you score, you score. I mean, shit. Y'all worried about the wrong goddamn thing. Worrying about the wrong damn thing. Let him make plays with his legs. Tempo offense, guys, the tempo offense is going to continue to work. Because what they're doing tempo is snap, boom, Jaden, one read, throw. It's not the tempo that's necessarily working. It's what they're doing in the tempo. Short, intermediate passes. Then you go deep to Chris Hilton. Now, do y'all remember the Malik Neighbors or Jane Daniels missing the end zone and Malik was running off to the sideline saying it was my fault? Guys, it was his fault. He's got to, it's an option read. He ran the corner. Jane saw the middle wide open. He thought that Malik would run the dig, and they missed a wide open touchdown. You can't have that. Everybody do us a favor by hitting the like and share. Don't be a Rudy Poo. Hit the like and share. Rick Kelly says, Blake, talk about Besh's return for a touchdown. Yeah, so about that. Look, I think you found the guy that you need to return punts. I don't think Jack Besh is going to bust a long one in the SEC for a touchdown like that. I just don't. I think that the penalty that was called on Kobe Fields was absolutely Rudy Poo, and that's why Brian Kelly absolutely lost his cool and his marbles on that one. Because, guys, that was a touchdown, and you need points. When you're struggling offensively, okay, you need points. And let me pull this up. All right, I'm just making sure there. Making sure. I thought somebody said something about Jane Daniels. Here it is. Breaking per Brian Kelly. This is from Wilson Alexander of The Advocate. Brian Kelly said that LSU quarterback Jane Daniels strained his lower back. It was not a head or a concussion protocol. He could have gone back into the game, but there was no need at that point in the game for him to come back. So there is your there's your update on Jane Daniels. But going back to Jack Besh, what an absolute Rudy Poo of a call on Kobe Fields. But look, I think you got to keep Jack back there at the current moment. Guys, just don't turn the football over and don't give up hidden yards in special teams. The most unkept secret that if you talk to any coach and you talk to them about punts or punt returns or whatever it may be, it's the unhidden yardage. The guys that let the football bounce and the punt gains another 12 yards. It just dribbles down the field. You can't have that. So I would keep Jack Besh down there. I thought special teams got a lot better. They put Chris Hilton back at kick return. He's one block away from breaking it. And look, This is why you don't need to freak out on Brian Polian. Now, we talked about this week, and we talked about it a lot on I think Monday or Tuesday. Guys, they're one block away from Chris Hilton taking it to the house. So not only do you have a punt return for a touchdown, but you're one block away from Chris Hilton breaking it and going 99 yards and a TD. They got to execute better there. Pooh Bear tells me, pause. I'm assuming it's on the dimples and pimples. Okay. What did I say? Of course, I said something. I know I'd say something. Munchie, what's up, brother? Says Emory needs more touches. Munchie, I got to disagree with you there, man. I got to disagree with you there. Guys, you can't and crunch and late in those games when you're fighting for touches, I said, dude, busting a long one. Jesus. But when you're fighting for touches, you can't fumble the football in the fourth quarter. That is something that has plagued John Emory from the beginning. Guys, at some point, and we talk about this all the time after a game, it becomes a fine line, right? The fine line is is this me critiquing John Emory or is this me bashing John Emory? I'm not bashing John. Guys, we've had 4 years of this. He's got to do better at holding on to the football. It's just the bottom line. You cannot fumble the football late in the game when you're fighting for touches. Now, if he doesn't fumble the football, because, guys, when you're playing against Alabama, when you're playing against Tennessee in 2 weeks, and it's 3rd and 2, in the back of your mind, do you trust John Emory enough not to fumble the football? That's how small of a margin it is to play in the SEC, y'all. I will say this. Now, Pooh, we talked about this, so I'm 3-0 in this prediction. I said after the Florida State loss in the postgame, LSU was going to win their next 4, okay? I'd never trusted Auburn. We're seeing how Auburn's going. Obviously, Southern, and I thought that Mississippi State, I thought Maddenhouse would do somewhat relative of what he did. You got to beat Mississippi State. You got to beat Auburn to make me look like a genius. But I think it is of my opinion. It's of my opinion that they will. But we'll get into a lot that this week. Tasha Thibodeau sends us $9.99 via Super Chat. She said, best show on YouTube. Thank you, Tasha. I thank you so much for doing that. Yeah, Super Chats are open. You want to get your question to the top of the line? Send $1.99. Won't you? I like that, Pooh. You like that rhyme? You think I could rap? You think I'm like the 985's Eminem? Send $1.99, get to the front of the line. How about that? C King says Josh Williams better than Emory. See, and that's where the stat line is confusing. That's where the stat line is confusing because, Pooh, I think we're still on the players here. There we go. Josh Williams, 4 carries, 19 yards. Emory, 9 carries, 45 yards. Pooh, what did Josh Williams have in receptions? Can we scroll down just a little bit here? Josh Williams, 2 catches, 31 yards. So, I mean, look, so they have relatively about the same amount of yardage, but Josh just fights so much for the hidden yardage, the extra yards. And, guys, he doesn't turn the football over. And, again, on 3rd and 2, when Tennessee comes to town, what is that? What is that going to be like? Who are you going to trust? And here's a problem. If Amani Goodwin is not able to go, then what? All right, everybody, do us a favor. If you're just joining us, hit the like and share to those Facebook groups, share to all your social media pages. We greatly appreciate you doing that. Share. Aunt Marshall says, listening to Brian Kelly's interview, man, it feels good to have a coach who knows what he's doing. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Absolutely, it does. GWAP Baby says, I think our running back core is good, but the O-line don't be strong. Without a strong O-line, nobody can't run nothing. I thought they played good the last 3 weeks. And Pooh Bear, I know Pooh Bear put up a score alert. Here it is. I mean, guys, this is the team that you lost to. Guys, this is the team that you lost to. Florida State. And Pooh, I'm assuming this isn't a final score, right? Florida State 44, Boston College 7. LSU's one loss ain't looking too bad. And guys, I see a lot of people talking crap about Dabo and Clemson. Guys, you go on the road anywhere in your conference. I mean, guys, that's a top 20 team that they played in Wake Forest, and they come out with a win in overtime. Okay? I mean, Florida State is looking as if that they're going to be a 9-10 win team. Miami is ass. Guys, who do they play again, Pooh? Middle Tennessee State. I mean, they got crushed by Middle Tennessee. Guys, they got crushed by Middle Tennessee State. Crushed. So whatever you want to call it, whatever it is, that's a good football team you lost to. LSU still in this with the SEC. Let's start off back in SEC play and see if we can get another win. John Boland says, per Brian Kelly, Major Burns is out 3 to 6 weeks. It's not good. But let me tell you what I liked. And I don't mean this in a wrong way. I really don't mean this in a wrong way. Guys, when he returned, were you going to take Greg Brooks out for Major Burns at this point? And Joe Fouché returns. So I get that it's a big loss that Major Burns is out, but you can't, guys, he's not going to start. He's not going to start over Greg Brooks. Now, what do you do for the other safety? You can't move Jay Ward back to safety. I think they like Bernard Converse back there, man. But let's see. But here's the thing, guys. With us not being able to go out to practice, and look, I know a lot of people in the media hate that we can't go out to practice now anymore during the week. Guys, I love it. I don't want leaks. And guys, let me tell you something. It's not for me not calling and asking. But the staff when I ask about practice and the staff says don't say anything, I'm not going to say anything. There are no leaks. But I promise you this, Matt House is going to have a different game plan. You're going to see a new wrinkle against Auburn. And by God, you better go to the Plains and we'll open up a can of whoop ass. Pooh Bear, are you going to the game? Isn't that close by you? Relatively? Aunt Marshall's giving us all these updates. So, Pooh, if you see one from Aunt, something like this, you can just go ahead and veto everybody and bring it on up. He says, BK says Amani has a hamstring injury. Yep. And that Major Burns is out 3 to 6 with a neck injury. Yeah, they put some kind of crazy neck roll on him last week. That was really wild. Side Tate says Josh Williams is the guy that you want on 4th and goal with the game on the line. No doubt. And remember earlier, it was that 4th down run. He had a 4th down run. It was like 4th and 2. And I had to bitch out ESPN. Thank you, Noble, for the stars on Facebook. But there was that 4th down run that Noah Kane had that had to keep the drive going, and he ran a dude over. Guys, I talk about this all the time. GAS or GAF. You have to give a shit or give a you know what. Josh Williams gives a shit. And guys, next week, he's going to be your number 1 back, and it's going to be him and Noah Kane. I'm glad that we have Caleb Jackson. Oh, shit. Pooh, hold on. Let me deviate here because if you're listening to us on the radio, Pooh Bear just put up Oregon State 7, USC 3, 45 seconds to go in the second quarter. Guys, there's parts of me, Pooh, that sees this, that sees Miami getting their teeth kicked in, that sees a lot of these games coming close, sees A&M lose to App State and App State effing up Pooh Bear's parlay. Okay, guys, this year, this college football season's just weird. I think we got to get over it. Guys, Oregon State is putting, come on. Well, I guess Brian, what was the score? Wasn't it 7-3, LSU and Florida State at half? I think it was 7-3. I was about to say Brian Kelly would never, but we did it week one. Chris says Kansas State's a score too. And they're playing Oklahoma. Last time I checked it was like 34-20. I see a lot of people saying Joe Fouche's back next week. Yeah, he's back next week. My good buddy. It's the Burden Verdict. What's up, buddy? He covers LSU. Y'all go give his YouTube channel a follow. Great dude. He says, how do you feel about Max Johnson and A&M, Blake? Well, I feel like Orgeron treated the kid like shit after watching him run. Guys, I don't care. I could care less that he's 11 for 21. The play when I'm talking about in that tweet that everybody's ripping me apart about is, guys, the play that he broke 7 tackles. The play that he broke 7 tackles. Okay? Calm y'all's tits. Now, let me tell you this. I would rather Jane Daniels over Max Johnson with don't get that shit twisted. But, look, it's crazy how you insert in Max and you win football games. Guys, there's nothing wrong with being an average to above average college quarterback. This is college football we're talking about. Sometimes people try to relegate how people are doing by looking at them as a college pro prospect. You can't do that. How are they as a college quarterback? By the way, as an example, look, Anthony, a lot of people don't like Anthony Richardson right now. Well, he only put up 453. God damn. Down goes Oklahoma. I am going to rip Big Game Boomer a new ass. No pauses. Pooh, don't pause me on these comments. Big Game Boomer, I'm coming for his ass, Pooh. Pause. I'll pause myself. All right, that was a little, I put coming and ass in the same sentence. I'll pause myself on that one. God damn, that was a little bad. But, God, that's really bad. And I said coming with conviction, too. A whole bunch of conviction. God, what a loser sometimes he can be. I love him to death. Don't get me wrong. Listen, I love Big Game Boomer to death, but sometimes he gets on my damn nerves. My good buddy Munchie, he says, I agree, no leaks. Let them work it out without our opinion. No doubt. And look, I've gone this entire show without talking about Garrett Nussmeier, so let's go ahead and do that. Pooh, can we scroll up to him and his stats? Guys, 9 of 10, 135 yards and a tutty. What Garrett Nussmeier are we going to get? That's what I keep thinking. I will say this. It felt as if there were two things, and two things can be true at once. He played within himself. Garrett, that's all. Look, guys, this is all we're asking for Garrett Nussmeier here. He played within himself. He also played within a system. Guys, the Malik Neighbors miss on the go route, guys, I can live with. You know what's interesting about the miss from Garrett Nussmeier, Pooh? They would have been mad. Well, Jane Daniels tucked it and run. Well, guess what? You missed it, right? You missed it. The first down that Jane Daniels would have generated for you, you won't bitch about that. But I'm not going to – there's nothing you can rip on Nussmeier about. He ran the offense efficiently. But, guys, look at those stats from both of your quarterbacks. 33 of 39, 414 yards, and a tutty. You know what's funny? And somebody texted me a front office guy in the NFL that's here locally sent me. He goes, man, why does it feel like Brian Kelly does Les Miles better than Les Miles? efficient passing numbers and just running people the fuck over is what he said. It's kind of true in a lot of ways, man. It's really true. Look, you're going to be efficient throwing the football, and you want to run the football and dominate people later in the games. And that's what they did. Guys, they scored 21 points in the second half. They scored 21 points in the fourth quarter versus Mississippi State last week. But hats off to Garrett Nussmeier. My thing would be for Nussmeier is this. Can you be consistent? Uh-oh. I'm glad I wasn't paulshub.com. But can he be consistent? And if Garrett can be consistent, guys, the sky's the limit for him. The sky's the limit for him. Swamp Cat said, I thought Nuss looked good tonight. He did. He did. He looked really he looked really well. It looked really good. He came straight in and never skipped a beat. No, and look, they gave him a lot of great look. And guys, this is why I say, like, you know, this, and we got a long season left to go. I think Mike Denbrock has called an out, really has been good. It's been the execution that LSU's struggled with offensively. You can't have guys running wide open and say Mike Denbrock's a bad play caller. Again, you're mad at the quarterback for not hitting wide open guys. Well, guys, if they're wide open, that means the scheme's working. You can't have both. But I agree with Swamp Cat here. I think that he played really well. He played really, really well. I want to bring this up, too, this comment here from Mark Kemp. He says, Jenkins is the most clutch player on the roster when it counts at receiver. All he does is Marvin Harrison the ball. I don't know, but Pooh Bear's freaking out. Are you agreeing with this, Pooh?
Yes. I've been saying that for months, all summer. Every time we talk about wide receivers, it's, you know, who's going to be wide receiver one? And you say Kayshawn, Malik Neighbors, Besh Brian Thomas, and they argue. Nobody ever says Jure. But Jure has kept, he's helped you beat Florida twice.
A&M.
He beat A&M.
Should have beat Florida State.
Should have beat Florida State. I mean, he's literally been there for every. I mean, he was my vote for number 18
in the 5th or 6th round, based off of him coming up with clutch catches. That's it.
Yes. That's it. Is. I mean, again, like I said, that's all I had.
And Pooh, the thing is, and I'll get you out of here. But the thing is that Brian Kelly pushed his buttons during the offseason. If he's consistent, and Brian Kelly said it, look, if he's consistent, I won't take him off the field. Now, I will tell you this. Here's another thing. We say this about Jure. I'm going to say this for another player too. Everybody keeps saying, get Jack Besh the ball, get John Emery the ball, yada, yada, yada. You better get Brian Thomas more involved, man.
Yeah.
You got to get Brian Thomas more involved. He's the dude. I don't know, Pooh. I don't know if against Auburn, I'm not running out the wide receivers, the 3 guys, Booty, Neighbors, and rotating Besh and Jenkins, or Thomas and Jenkins, Thomas and Jenkins in and out at the X, because you got to get both of those guys involved.
Exactly. Hey, that's all I got. And Chris keeps saying Brian Thomas is the best wide receiver. How many game-winning catches does he have? Because I can tell you how many Jure got.
It's true. Brian Thomas has more upside right now.
Oh, yeah,
but definitely. He hasn't been the best receiver. Is that fair?
That's fair. Brian Thomas ain't a senior. I mean, no offense, and I hate to be that old guy, but listen, give this dude has been here serving LSU very proudly. Give him that shine. Let him do his thing.
You're like what, 49 now?
69.
All right, I'm getting you out of here. Hey, I said the word coming with a lot of conviction, didn't I? Really white moment.
Somebody felt that. No pause.
Oh, she's giving birth in a month. Anyway, the reason I brought Pooh down, I can't look at him. Pooh, I'm not even looking at you right now. I can't look at you. I can't because I'll start laughing and then we'll go on this tangent. I can't do it. Vernon Vernon says, appreciate the love, Blake. Yeah, man, you're doing awesome stuff. Y'all go follow him on Twitter. Chris laughing about Johnson going 11-21. Chris, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. The problem is that they're winning. Okay? And that defense is really freaking good. Richard says B. Thomas is a hoss. Dude, and the crazy thing is, guys, is Brian Thomas making open field moves the way that he does? It's insane. Tasha says, and Jenkins is an incredible motivator to the wide receiver corps, too. Great young man. That he is. That he is. Okay? And she's so right with that because, guys, he has been the leader in that room. Talking to people that are in that room, he is the vocal leader, and he comes out there. Guys, he brings his lunch pail every day. He brings his lunch pail every day. Paul Escon, my buddy on YouTube, says you got to get number 87 off the field, play the wide receivers. You got to get him off the field. And look, it's not as if it's not as if that he's just always God. Cole Taylor's just always making the wrong play at the wrong time. Now the pick play's not on him, but let me just tell you this. A lot of people are going to talk about Malik Neighbors on that rub route that went for Cole Taylor for a touchdown. Let me tell you why that's a little bit on Cole. He's got to get deeper in his route so it doesn't look as bad on Malik Neighbors. It's small, itsy-bitsy stuff like that. It's small, itsy-bitsy stuff like that. You just got to be able to do. You cannot have holding penalties on 1st and goal in your own 10. Guys, we had 3rd and goal from our own 30. 3rd and goal from our own 30, then you miss a field goal. There is not one thing in football that pisses me off more than not getting points in the red zone. And I know Pooh Bear knows this. I've said this for years, even going back to 2020 when we were doing post games. Guys, it does not matter to me how many yards you have, because if you don't get points on that board, you're not winning a damn thing. Points are the only things that matter. Now, yards can dictate how many points you have. But, guys, what was the final score, Pooh, of A&M and 23-21 or something like that? So, y'all are making fun of Max Johnson, and rightfully so. Okay. Bottom line is that him going 11-21 doesn't matter when you're winning. Because Anthony Jennings would go 10 of 25 for 92 yards and you fucking win. I'd rather the fucking win. Now you got to be better than that to win natties. Okay, Jaden Daniels is better than that. Jaden's better than Max. Okay, but Justin LaGrange says you got to keep Pooh Bear on the screen. No, I can't look at him after I say some of those crazy ass comments. Can't do it. But I'm glad. What's the girl's name? Lucy. That girl Lucy comes up in here, and man, she's like, bring that fine ass mother to Pooh on the screen. I'm like, God damn it, the man's married. She said that, Pooh. What was it, Wednesday or Thursday? You were out. She came in here and said, put Pooh on the fucking screen. She said it. I had to put her in timeout, man. God, dog it, boy. I think it's you, Pooh. I think you got a burner account on YouTube. That's what I think. Let me tell you who I thought it was first. I thought it was Chris. I don't think Chris is smart enough to make a dual YouTube account. Aunt Marshall says BK said Nuss was decisive. He was, and made high-level throws. He did. If he's disciplined and taking what the defense gives him, he's going to be fine at QB. Can't agree more. But it's like the Eminem song, guys. Will the real Eminem or will the real Slim Shady please stand up? Will the real Nussmeier please stand up? Because you have games like this, you have practices like this, and it never, the next week, what does he do? The next time he plays, what does he do? Oh, wow. Here comes Oklahoma. Who's got the ball, Pooh? Here comes Oklahoma. God, I don't want him to win so bad. Tasha says, I wanted that bomb pass to Neighbors so bad. Yeah, I did too. It would have been so great for Nussmeier as well. Remington says, y'all keep saying Nuss wrong. Oh, Nussmeier? Yeah, Nussmeier. God, that made me cringe so bad. So bad. Alex Ezel said Perkins is everywhere. He had 4 more tackles than the next most. Yeah, I hadn't seen the tackle stats yet, but he's all over the place. She's all over the place. See, Pooh Roderick said she did say that. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. You're growing your own personality on the show, Pooh Bear. I'm just telling you. Al gave her a nickname like Loosey Goosey or something like that. It's pretty funny. Paul says, got to keep your best players on the field 11 and 80 or greater than 87 and 86. Yeah, and look, most of y'all know this. I will live with some of the Mason Taylor mistakes because he's a freshman. Because, look, you're going to need him, and the more reps he gets is going to benefit you in the future. I thought he played a pretty decent game, and I honestly thought he blocked pretty well. And if he's going to do that for you blocking, but look, you're not nobody on that defense is going to start for Auburn next week. Nobody. So yeah. Oh, 1st and goal, Kansas State. Okay. All right. Let's hope they put it in. That's what she said. YouTube user says, how did you like the 3 tight end goal line? I love it. Guys, here's the thing about this, the 13 personnel they went to. You got to be able to line up and punch somebody in the mouth because it's not just the goal line anymore. Guys, if it's 3rd and 1 and you can do it, and here's another thing. This was a beautiful thing by Mike Denbrock. They brought Jeray Jenkins in motion. I think if Jane Daniels or if whoever the quarterback was, I don't remember. Was it Nussmeier or Nussmeier? Whoever it was, Jeray Jenkins, they could have pulled it and thrown it to him in the flat. There's so many options they had there. I'm okay with it. But here's the thing: to end this thought, you punch somebody in the fucking mouth. That's the bottom line, guys. Football's still football. You got to go out there and impose your will. All right, everybody, do us a favor by hitting the like and share. We greatly appreciate it. Daniel Williams says Jenkins is an adult, different mentality. My guy has a wife. Is he married? I don't know. I knew he was engaged. I knew he was engaged, but I mean, he's been here since President Obama's administration. I mean, he was committed to LSU, I should say. He's almost that old. Jeff says, #Ask Blake, Besh got robbed like a MFer on that punt. TD, true or false? Absolutely true. That Kobe, and that's why Brian Kelly lost his mind. That Kobe Fields penalty. Bush League, man. Bush League. This is the only thing bad about Nussmeier having a great game. Is now everybody's going to say stuff like that. Now, I know it's a joke, but still. Dylan said Dylan on Facebook says Bernard Converse got the game ball. There you go. He played a hell of a game, man. And I think that they feel confident that they can move him back to safety. It might even be the best position for him. Penn Jones says Kansas 1st and goal. Okay, I wonder if they scored. Ball game. They did. Ball game. Remington says Kansas State is beating OU. Yep. American Patriots says, I'm concerned about John Emery. His fumbling is going to cost us. He can't hold on to the ball. Guys, American Patriot, I said that earlier. At what point, I don't know, man. I mean, it's just kind of like at what point something's got to happen. Something's got to happen. Tashi said, no, not the Obama administration. Well, shit, Miles Brennan was here since Reagan. Nobody said a word. Nobody said a word. Go ahead, Pooh.
Hey, so that comment by Remington.
Which one?
About the Kansas State beating Oklahoma because the quarterback is running the damn ball. So
I should have read it all the way.
It was 3rd and 16, and they were at the on their own 48, 47, and he scrambled and ran all the way to the 6. The very next play, he ran it up the middle. So I'm saying, LSU fans, pick and choose your battles. I understand. I agree. I want to see more passing, but pick and choose your battles. It's winning games all around the country. That's all I got.
Well, look, Pooh, I mean, at the bottom line is this. You're going to need him to run the football. Today's game, my thing is you don't say this shit about Bryce Young. You don't say this shit to Hendon Hooker. You don't say this shit, who else do you not say shit to? I mean, Semper says Miles Brennan and George Washington were in 3rd grade together. Probably so. It's probably who taught him how to hunt and fish. I just,
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who else. So ironically, Kansas, and I mentioned that they're 4-0 and they're winning. Their quarterback is named Jalen Daniels.
Jalen, yeah, that's right. Hey, you know what Lance Leipold, the head coach of Kansas, is saying? Like your boy in the meme, tell him to bring me my money. Because let me tell you something, Nebraska look, he is a Nebraska guy, meaning they're tough. If you can recruit at Kansas, you can fucking recruit at Nebraska, dog. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. All right. Oh, my God. Look at this. Justin T. Lagrange says Daniels is better than Winston. Look, after last week, I can't necessarily disagree. Penn Jones says touchdown Kansas. What the fuck's going on in Kansas, man? Florida State final. 4-0 Florida State. Tasha says 38-0 point blank period. Bottom line. Chris said I paid money this MFer still skip my comment. Chris, we didn't see it. Chris, put the comment back. We must not have seen it. Black Goatee sends $5. Thank you so much. He says now everybody gonna call him gonna be on the news boost. He says sorry, I had to get that one out. Oh man, the news boost. The wheels on the boost go round and round. Oh God. Tim Jerkin says you hit Brennan in the chest and dust came out of his mouth. Yeah, Chris, tell us your comment again, brother. We didn't see it. Chris H says, where's Big Game Boomer tonight? I wanted to tell him how great OU is again. Yeah, I'm not. Look, listen. I'm going to let him have it. Pooh, let me know when that game is completely final. We're going to rip him alive. I'm going to rip him alive because he completely rips on LSU. Nolan Strange says this was the most animated I've seen BK all season. Yeah, because you know what? BK seems, and Nolan, this is a great comment too, brother, because Brian Kelly just hates not executing the small shit. Right? Like when you don't execute the small shit, it drives him crazy. And then, like, again, the Kobe Fields thing, guys, that's a perfectly blocked. When you throw your hands up and you turn your head and your shoulder hits the dude, it's not blindside anymore. Might as well just leap with your head forward and knock a son of a bitch out at that point because they're still going to call it. I hate when points come off the board, man. It drives me so insane. So insane. Chris says Miles was on the Mayflower. Goddamn sinus infection, bronchitis, whatever it is. Taraj, I hope I'm saying your name. Pooh, am I saying that right? Right, Taraj. You think I'm saying that right? He says, hashtag Ask Blake, I live in Kansas. I'm from Louisiana. I'm shocked that all these Kansas teams are shocking the world. Well, their new AD out in Kansas said that they're going to spend the money to win games. They vividly talked about that they want to spend money to win games. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I mean, look, guys, listen. Teams are going to go all in on football when the TV deals dictate that. Guys, you're leaving way too much. They're leaving way too much money on the table. Way too much money on the table. Side Tate says Tennessee is sus. We'll see, man. We'll see. I mean, look, they come in here in a couple weeks. So you better get ready for them. You better get ready for them. Right? Like, here's my thing. Here's my thing with Tennessee. And look, what I really don't want to do is look too far into Tennessee because, guys, this year has been so crazy. If you're looking too far ahead, you're going to get your ass beat. I don't give a shit if it's Auburn or not. You cannot look ahead. Peyton Magnese says Hooker got banged up today. Jane got roughed up last 2 games. Don't mind the running, but got to pick and choose. Can't run all the time, or it will be the Nuss show. I'm not answering that. We can have this conversation in spaces or something. I don't know. I'm not having this conversation because ULM. How about that? Look, Peyton, my point is this. When you're struggling offensively, don't bitch about him being in the pocket when nobody can get open. And the reason he ran was because somebody wasn't open. And Brian Kelly said he could have gone back. It was his decision not to do it. Chris says nobody cares. Chris, people do care. Shut up. Grow up. Jordan says Tennessee gets a bye week before they play us. I don't feel good about that at all. I don't feel good about that at all. At all. Chris says, hashtag Ask Blake, why you ask Pooh about a black name? Chris, you got to grow up, dude. You got to grow up. At some point, you got to get your mama's titty out your mouth and grow up. Roger Dugas says, I like our defense versus Tennessee's offense, just saying. Yeah, listen, I do, and our defense is getting a lot better, okay? Our defense is getting a lot better. And they are good. They are good. Tasha said, my God. I'm sorry, Tasha. I apologize, but Chris be getting on my damn nerves. Jeff says we need everyone healthy. The good thing is you didn't, hopefully, God willing, you didn't lose anybody for the season in this game. That's what you hope for. Caleb sent some stars via Facebook. Thank you so much, Caleb. Let's get to a couple more of these, Pooh, and then we'll get on out of here. Adam B says Ole Miss is suspect. Yeah, they are suspect. They are suspect. Very suspect. Simber says, but why does Kyler Murray run like a toddler who just threw a cell phone? God damn it. He does. He just runs. His little legs are just going so fast sometimes. He's good, though, man. It doesn't matter when it works. Let's think about this. I'm going to leave that alone. Rick Kelly says Texas, Oklahoma, and Miami all lost today. That they did. Guys, Miami's really bad. They're really, really, really bad. They're really bad. Gilbert Williams says, I like how you keep it real, sir. We try. Sometimes it bites me in the ass, but pause. I don't wish what people tell me in my DMs on anyone, though. Adam Keene says, I think the SEC is wide open. Even Georgia looked bad today. Man, you're gonna have these you're gonna have these games, man. You're gonna have these games. Aunt Marshall says the Warhawks gave UL their first L or their other L. Talons out. One thing you got to give the people from the 318, man. They gonna rep for the 318 until they die. They are going to rep for the 318 like their life depended on it. Tasha says, great show. I needed to relax and chill. My Tiger homies, love y'all. Peace. See you, Tasha. Have a good night. Caleb says, was Charles Turner already talked about? A little bit. He says, he didn't look good on the line. Yeah, he didn't do well. It's a couple runs, and I talked about this a little bit earlier. Couple runs that if he gets somewhat semblance of a block, running backs are still running. But I thought he did a lot better tonight. Mark says hi. What's going on, Mark? What's going on, Mark? Go home on YouTube says, did Sage Ryan play tonight? I did see him out there. All right. We'll get on out of here. Maybe we can catch the end of this Oklahoma game. We'll see y'all soon. We'll see y'all Monday. Pooh Bear and them, I think tomorrow at 7:30. Thumbs up. Golden Boot Pod. Go follow them on YouTube and all that great stuff. Until then, guys, we'll see y'all soon. Y'all have a great night. Peace out, Girl Scouts.